Hello everyone, and welcome to this video demonstration on how to set up your Photoshop document to transfer it to a flash scene. So here's going to be my end result. I've brainstormed what I would like my overall layout to feel like. The purpose of this is to create a web advertisement for Colder Fine Foods and to showcase a department. So I really needed to think about who they are, what are their colors, what may be a bakery. So you think about breads and pastries and um, just the good smells and everything like that when you go to the store. So I really thought about it like as an artisan shop. And I thought about, well, what do I see when I'm in a store like that? So when we look at the Colder Fine Foods logo, you're looking at greens, light yellows, browns. And then also like when you think about the bakery, you think about the countertops where they roll out the dough, the plate, the paddle that they slide the bread in the oven. I think about that type of stuff when I'm thinking about the bakery. So how do we get started? First, I Googled around for some images. If you're going to use images, please make sure you do cite them correctly in APA format. So you may need to hit up the library APA generator for this and document where you have got the images from. Since we're using it in an academic setting, citing the images is fine. It doesn't violate copyright that way, so make sure that those images are cited and you can upload it with your assignment. So I'm going to make a new document. I'm simply going to go up to File, New. I'm going to make it the default size for a Flash document, which is 550 by 400. You could set it to, 320 by 240. You could set it other ratios that you think may make good size for a web advertisement. I'm envisioning this web advertisement is going to go on different websites, but primarily on the Colder Fine Foods website as well. So, I was thinking 550 by 400 was a good size. I'm going to make sure it's 72 DPI. 72 DPI is the typical DPI for on the web for screen. So I'm going to leave that. Same with the RGB. I'm going to leave that as well. And I'm going to hit OK. So some of the images that I used, and you can see them in my folder here. I have a variety of ones. I went and I got a wood texture. I also toyed around with different ways, different breads perhaps to use, so I've got a few more than what I was really envisioning. I also have the logo in a PNG form, so it's a transparent background. I did upload that to the class messages area, so you can grab the logo there. It does have the transparent background. So the one that you see finished, I did use the bread of different slices. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up with Photoshop. And so there's a really nice high-res bread, very clean, very crisp images. If you want to do this when you're in Google, if you go under the search tools and the images page and you say size, search for large, it will bring up some bigger images to use, and they're going to be cleaner and crisper to use so that they're not blurry. So I'm going to Command A this to select it all, Command C. I'm going to click back over on my document and I'm going to paste that in, and you can see it's really big in comparison. So Command T will size it down. I'm holding Shift to keep it proportional. And I might not want it to fill the entire background, but maybe I want to bring it in here. So I'm going to have to do something else with my background. Maybe get a little bit more greens or reddish and brownish colors. So I may need to make a new layer. And I'm going to pull it right below layer 1, and I'm going to merge these in a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that. But I'm going to start grabbing some colors. So I'm going to use my eyedropper tool. I'm going to grab that color, Then I'm going to come over here and grab this color. And then I'm going to make a gradient with those colors selected. And maybe I'm going to you can see how I can kind of get these together. Now you're thinking, hey, that doesn't really match, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my eraser. I'm going to make it really soft. And then I'm going to come out here and I'm just going to erase a little bit. And you can see how that line goes away. So that's the start of my layout. I'm going to grab that bread texture, or the wood texture, not the bread texture, the wood texture. I'm also going to open that up. I'm going to Command A, Command C for copy. I'm going to head back over here and I'm going to paste it. See what's nice about using really large images is that you know it's always going to be clean and crisp. So now making it a web advertisement, I know that I'm going to want it to, I should probably showcase who it is for. Where are they going? What locations? So that's what I did over here on the one that I finalized. I have visit our locations in Del Mar, La Jolla, in Cynthias. I don't think I'm saying that right. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this since I've already have this typed out. I'm going to paste it. Well, maybe I should just type it out. So if you want to type something, you just grab your type tool. I'm going to say visit our locations. And if you want to size it, you can just grab it, select it just like you would in Word. You can size it that way. Now the other thing is if you want to change what the types, the typeset is. So I'm using Caviar Dreams, but you could pick some other font that you think might go well with Colder Fine Foods. So I was definitely thinking you could use a script, but be careful in seeing, like, can you actually read that script? Against this, yes, I could definitely read it. Against something else, maybe not. So I'm not against script fonts. I could definitely try to find a different script that I may like. And I have a bunch of different ones that I've already previously downloaded off of DaFont. I love the DaFont website. It's free. They have a lot of different font choices that you could find and download onto your machine. So there's my visit our locations, and you know that I put what the locations were. I then can also use that wood texture again. And my thought process for the banners at the top was that they could actually change depending on what scene I'm actually in. Command T makes it sizable. So I'm going to scale it. And I can keep scaling. I can also erase what I don't need. So you saw these banners that were hanging down. And what I did was with these was I selected what I wanted and put them together. So here I want to select this piece. If I right click on it and I say layer via copy, it copies just that section. The eyeballs are the visibility, so you can turn them on and off. I'm going to duplicate this layer. And then that starts those wood banners I made. The logo also had that banner behind it. Now see how if I just stretch that, how different it looks than this wood texture down here? It just doesn't look right. So that's why making sure it's fresh, it's the size you want, is really important. Now I'm not going to complete my entire layout for you. I just wanted to get you started. So then I'm going to pull my logo back over. I'll Command A that, Command C it, come back over here and paste it. I'm on my move tool and that will move it into place. When you want to rename the layers, because that's very important when you're ready to transfer to Flash, if you just double click on them, you can name them. So maybe I want to say logo. And here's your background. Now you may have noticed that my background was all one layer. So I need to select both of these and then I can come up and say merge layers. So that makes it just one layer. I'm going to go ahead and delete this background layer because I don't need it. And then once I'm done with like my banners, these two banners up at the top, I'm also going to merge those as well, because I don't want to bring in too many extraneous layers in my photo or in my Flash document. So the more you can condense down the layers, the better. Now keep in mind what you want to animate so that you don't merge those down. Each layer that you want to animate needs to be its own layer, its own element. So keep those on their own layers. The other thing that you could also do, just as like a little quick Photoshop tip, if you want to create some drop shadows or effects, that's down here in the effects panel. So if I want to add a drop shadow, and then you can modify all the settings for it. You could bevel and emboss, so that brings a little bit of depth in there. You could also give it a stroke. See what type of effects you like. And those will give you some quick effects to really add depth and color and things to visual appeal to your layout. And then all you have to do when you're done, File, Save As, save it as your PSD document, and then you're ready to head on over to Flash once you've named all your layers. So make sure those layers are well named before heading over to Flash, and then you can import it. There is another video already uploaded that you can watch on how to get started with your Flash Scene 1 using Flash. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks, everyone.